Hello ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It is your host, the one and only ProHenis, and today guys, I'm bringing you another deep talk video where today you're going to be watching a gameplay in the background where I go 39-8 playing some ground war on the map Comeback, I believe. So I believe it was a domination match as well. But anyways guys, the topic of today's deep talk is going to be PMCs, private military corporations. Now the reason I bring this up is because if you guys are familiar with the game Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which hopefully you should be because that's currently the game you're watching in the background. So if you're not familiar with the game, here you go. You can watch some gameplay of it while I talk about PMCs. Now, basically, the whole campaign, the whole story mode surrounded by Advanced Warfare is the idea of private military corporations taking over the U.S., volunteer military. And I found that very interesting because PMCs, private military corporations, are controlled by private companies. So you're paid a little bit more and you don't work for one country. You work for all types of organizations, all types of territories. And so what I found most interesting about it is I watched a video on Call of Duty's channel which talked about private military corporations and how they're rising. And I thought that was really interesting, and it made me think about how, we've brought all our troops out of Iraq and Afghanistan here in the United States, and we've withdrawn from those situations under Obama's administration. And that kind of got me wondering, Obama can stand there in front of the TV and say, all of our troops are out of Iraq and Afghanistan. But when he says that, does he really mean the U.S. troops? Or are there still, maybe, private military corporations in Iraq and Afghanistan fighting under the name of the United States? Another thing that kind of crossed my mind, like they said in the Call of Duty video, private military corporations cover the entire moral spectrum. They work for terrorist groups, civil rights organizations. They can, do sort of secret black ops missions. And they interviewed one guy who was actually on a PMC team, and they said he gets paid more. And he was talking about, why would I work 4 years in Iraq and make $100,000 a year when I can work 4 years in a private military corporation and make $25,000 a year. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Which makes me kind of go back to that point that, people who volunteer and work for our army should be working underneath the fact that, they're a patriot. They're a citizen who wants to help fight for their country. And a lot of what it seems now underneath this private military corporations, if I can even speak, it seems like those corporations and those people fighting for those corporations are only really in it for the money. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Obviously, I can make it sound like a bad thing now, like, oh, those people are bad. But, let's be honest. If you were given the option to fight 2 years in Iraq and make $100,000 a year, or fight for 4 years and make $250,000 a year under a private military corporation, would you do it? And to be honest, I'd probably choose the PMC option, just simply because you get paid more and you work for a longer amount of time. You can probably decide how long you want to work for. I don't really know too much about this. This was just something that was crossing my mind the other day, and I figured, you know what, why not put a video out about this underneath Deep Talk? And it's kind of interesting, and I really can't help but think about that point that I made earlier in the beginning of the video, where Obama may be able to stand in front of cameras and say, all of the U.S. troops are out of Iraq and Afghanistan, but are there actually secretly some PMCs who are still in there fighting underneath the name of the United States? And I thought that was kind of interesting. It brings us back. It tells us, the viewers of the media that, oh, we're out of Iraq and Afghanistan and we're not fighting this war anymore. But maybe we actually are. We just don't know it. But he can stand there in front of the camera and tell us anything and we'll probably believe it. So I don't want to turn this into too much of a political video, although this is a very politically charged topic. But I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments section below. I know this is kind of really a sensitive topic, maybe for some of you, because it does kind of cross the political spectrum. But if you guys have any opinions on what you think PMC should be doing, if you think they're even morally fine, if you think that PMCs shouldn't even exist, if you think that they should only fight for one country or one team, let me know. I'll be really curious to hear what you guys have to say. I'm sorry this video was kind of mumbled and jumbled, but I just wanted to get my points out there, and I know you guys are going to have some opinions on this as well. And I just thought it was an interesting enough topic that, why not take advantage of this community that we have here on the ProHenis Gaming channel and hear some feedback from you guys. So if you guys have any comments, anything to say, leave them down in the comment section, and I'll be sure to read through them and respond to every single one. Present your points, stuff like that, any of your opinionated points that you have to make. Or maybe you don't live in the United States and you may know of something like this in your country, and that would be even more interesting for me to know because I live in the United States. But anyways, guys, that is all. Kind of a short, deep talk. Kind of want to push this out there. I'm going to leave this one up to you guys if you guys have any points you want to make. But guys, thank you all so very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out all the social media in the description below. And until next time, guys, keep gaming, and as always, stay cool. Adios.